Welcome back to the Dark Manor podcast. I'm Hayden.
I'm Haxon. I'm back. Everyone be happy.
Well, we're both back because we took a week off. 2 weeks off.
We took a couple of weeks off.
Yeah, sorry about that. Just didn't have the time to actually do it.
And things happening.
Yeah. Anyway, but we're back and we're gonna be reading the Bethesda Cult.
Mm-hmm.
I just clicked the first thing on the creepypasta.com and it just happens to be the Bethesda Cult. So.
Well, it seems like it should take a little while.
Sounds like a lot of hoopla. I'm reading it this time, right?
Yes. It should take 8 minutes, apparently.
Okay.
Okay. Oh.
Written by nobody. Just look at the written by.
It's written by. Can't you see it's written by?
It's written by There I Was.
Written by.
Anyway, let's start. There I was.
There I was.
Fuck you. There I was.
There was.
There I was.
Okay.
We're not gonna be doing this the entire fucking thing.
Oh yeah, we gotta stretch this to 10 minutes somehow.
We're gonna stretch it to 10 minutes just by joking along with it.
Alright.
There I was.
There was. Okay, just keep going.
There I was.
Sweating
Hacks?
in my uncomfortable seat. Yeah.
Hacks, this isn't funny, it's just annoying.
Then why are you laughing?
Habit. Force habit. There I was.
I was there.
We can't make it past the first 3 words.
Okay. Okay. Hey, I had to do something for a grand coming back.
There I was, sweating in my uncomfortable seat, surrounded by the sounds of obnoxious unsynchronized clapping.
Continuously talking. Todd Howard? Isn't that a basketball player?
No. Todd Howard has just made his usual appearance at the annual E3 Gaming Expo stage. The crowd was anxious, awaiting their anticipated announcements, ready to possibly be disappointed.
Myself?
I wasn't at the expo during the claustrophobic mania for some video games. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy a good RPG every once in a while. But that wasn't my intentions on the day in question. I was focused on Howard's body language. The glare in his eyes, looking for any subtle off movements, even his choice of dialogue. There's been something bugging me for some time now, that I have a firm and dedicated belief for. Todd and the company of Bethesda are in fact part of a secret cult.
Who the fuck thinks that?
What? It's not... Well, someone needs to keep Fallout 76 alive.
A cult?
Yeah.
No.
If they can do it for the longest running MMO of all time, they can do it with Fallout 76.
Oh.
I know how crazy it sounds, but please just hear me out. Allow me to take you back to the traumatizing experience that started all of this.
Hell yeah.
Orange, red, yellow. These 3 nations once lived in... The leaves brought an offset of color to an otherwise gloomy autumn day. The season also happened to be the prefix to the disc that was held in my hands. Fallout 4. I was
7.5.
I was a little late at having my try at the game, as I picked it up around November of last year. Still, I was pretty excited to give it a go. It has gained a lot of popularity after all. With the game in my PS4 console, I recall myself sitting on my bed for hours on end. I was fully absorbed into the wasteland-filled virtual environment, forgetting about the spilled cup of cola on the floor next to my feet and the fallen slice of pizza on my bed sheets.
Coca-Cola or just cola?
Cola.
Cola. Speed cola.
Nuka-Cola.
Speed cola.
No, Nuka-Cola, since that's an actual Fallout reference. See, I can fall out a little bit.
I hope you fall out of the earth.
The real world around me was ultimately non-existent. It wasn't until my controller died that reality peeked through again. I, however, only used this moment of clarity to freak out and quickly plug in a charging cable between my system and controller. I had to hurry and jump back into the Fallout universe. This is where I felt like I was worth something. It was where I didn't feel alone.
Hold on. What does this have to do with Bethesda being a cult?
I don't know. I think this is making a reference to that at time this guy lost his job and his wife because he got a Fallout 4 addiction.
Oh, I thought it was for Fortnite. I don't know, there was one for that too.
Oh. Fallout 4 was a game where I can build, fight, and help people in need. The settlement...
Exactly, Fortnite.
Oh, you don't help people in need, you fucking kill them.
And they're not in need.
I mean, they're in need, they're special needs, but... The settlement crafting system pulled me in, allowing me to create houses out of resources I worked so hard for, enemies that got in my way. I would fend off using practical weapons I made myself. On quests, I found mutants and irritated...
On quest?
On quests. I found...
On the
I
Oculus
said
quest.
on quests.
The Oculus quest.
Shut up.
Fuck you.
I found mutants and irritated hostiles,
Yeah,
the likes of which led me to achievements.
Oh, you're
These
underwater now.
These accolades made me
go.
feel great and wanted in this made-up reality. Finally, something made my life livable that didn't happen to be prescription or recreational drugs.
Pass the weed.
My virtual ecstasy, however, came to an abrupt halt. I began noticing some things out of the ordinary, even for a game of fantasy. I'd come up to these electronic terminals in the game and notice some patterns. Whether I was in a shopping mart, a library, or museum, the same word would pop up on the terminals, along with the rest of the text. I never really noticed, until I saw it appear even in multiples on some of the screens. The word that struck my attention was end. Most wouldn't bat an eye at this. I mean, the game is set in a post-apocalyptic world, so the word end is rather fitting. For one reason or another, it didn't feel fitting to me at all. I see this word pop out all the time throughout my life. Everyone has the same magic number that seems to follow them everywhere they go. Whether it's a lucky 7 or unlucky 13 or unlucky 76, well, mine is the word end.
That
I see
doesn't
it.
sound like a number.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Why did it take you so long to say something?
I had to read it really fast and just realize, yeah, no, it's not a number.
End isn't a number.
I see it inside
thought.
gas stations, grocery stores, the daily newspaper, even on cereal boxes. The word is constantly being thrown at me. As soon as I started
maybe
noticing
you should just stop letting it be thrown at him. Say no more.
yeah, why
end.
not take it and fucking eat it? That'll show
Fuck it.
dominance.
Fuck it.
Yeah. As soon as I started noticing this, I decided to look at one more terminal in the game. I came across one that was fairly easy to get. There wasn't much disturbance. Just some destroyed cars, no enemies in sight. This terminal This terminal didn't seem unusual at first, with the same common words lit up on the monitor. Then something obstructed the screen. The entire thing filled up with my least favorite word, typed over and over. It
What's
sped
his
up
least favorite word?
end.
I don't think that's it.
It
think
sped
it
up
might
gradually, eventually to the point that my eyes couldn't keep up. I was wildly confused, wondering if this was just part of the video game. It was then that I turned off the game, not caring about where I was or when I last saved my progress. I was too far spooked to continue. What the fuck? Save your fucking progress!
What a pussy.
Later that evening, I shared the experience with one of my close friends while hanging out at his house. I told him I finally gave the game a shot and mentioned what happened, hoping he wouldn't judge me and perhaps would know what I was talking about. My questions, to my dismay, were not answered. I put hundreds of hours in Fallout 4, and that isn't anything I've witnessed in my playthroughs, he stated. This led me to believe I have simply played this game for so long that it had taken a toll on my mental state. Somehow,
Bitch.
this theory just made me feel worse. Walking back home that day, my phone kept ringing all sorts of numbers, all of which I assumed were telemarketers, considering I didn't recognize the numbers. I ignored them for a while, but there was one I decided to finally answer. Hello? I questioned in a cautious tone.
Hey, this is GameStop. Your copy of Fallout 4 you ordered has arrived from the warehouse. You can come pick it up any time. We're open till 9 p.m. today.
Thank you, I responded in a confused fashion. And then when he got to GameStop, he was shot 27 times.
Hell yeah.
I started answering more calls, my cell phone being bombarded with one new number after another. Perplexed would be an understatement of which to describe my mind at that point in time. Each phone call was from a different GameStop, at least a dozen or so from across the country. County line! Calling to tell me I had a copy of Fallout 4 ready for pickup. At this point, I was more frustrated than confused. I assumed my friend was playing some sort of prank at my expense, so he bought every single copy of Fallout 4 available.
Hell yeah.
I eventually began blocking the numbers as they came in. So, the cult is literally just
Memeing this
GameStop.
guy.
It's GameStop.
It's GameStop.
Despite knowing where the
Todd
calls
Howard.
Despite knowing where the calls were
Answer.
more than likely coming from, something about the ordeal wasn't sitting well with me. Sorry, did you say something?
I said, would you fuck Todd Howard?
If he makes Elder Scrolls
You
6,
bitch. Oh, okay. Hell yeah.
which, I mean, he will, but I want to see more stuff on that.
Hell yeah.
Despite knowing where the calls, something about the ordeal wasn't sitting well with me. To make matters worse, something far more peculiar happened upon opening the door to my home. I didn't walk through the doorway, no, not in the slightest. As soon as the front door opened, I found myself sitting on my bed, controller in hand, looking directly at my TV screen. He lagged. He lagged.
I hate it when that happens.
No, he just...
I hate it when I lag IRL.
Yeah. It's tough for me to explain, but it felt like as if I never left the house. The game itself was still running. Stopped right where I left off. The word end plastered across the terminal screen yet again, multiplying rapidly. What's this cult's deal? Like, are they trying to...
They're just trolling this guy.
What?
They're just trolling this guy.
Are they trying to recruit him or something? If that's the case, then it's not really, you know...
Working?
Yeah. I shot up from my bed and unplugged both my television...
I got shot 27 times.
And unplugged both my television and my PlayStation. I looked up and noticed something. Everything in my room was just how I left it, but the walls, they were undoubtedly different. The word end surrounded the perimeter of my bedroom, written on all different colors and sizes. At first, I was outraged, wondering who had broken into my home and vandalized my room. I thought it might have been my friend, pulling out all the stops to severely spook me. If so, it was working. This explanation fell flat when I realized that the word painted across my room was written in my own handwriting.
Uh-oh.
But hold on, how does this make sense? A harmless glitch? Hallucinations and writing on the walls? What does it all mean? Well,
Todd Howard.
at this point, I wasn't sure, but I knew I had to get to the bottom of it. Without a better plan in mind, I decided to go directly to the source, Todd Howard himself.
Yes.
And this
This
is what
still
brought...
doesn't. Hold on. This still doesn't tell us why he thinks Bethesda's a cult.
Well, I'm pretty sure it will. And this is what brought me to a room full of boisterous clamor, waiting for the presentation to be over. I grew anxious sitting there, hoping I could speak with Mr. Howard. I didn't know what he'd say or if he'd even believe me, but I was a slave to my own wishful thinking. Perhaps he could explain all my worries away and put my mind at ease once and for all. Unfortunately for me, my issues couldn't be fixed with a patch or an update. Are you sure about that?
Windows 10 needs an update.
My heart racing, there finally came a time everyone left their seats. My legs were shaking, but that was mostly from sitting for such a long period of time. Just as
Sure was,
I was
buddy.
about to stumble through the exit and head backstage, a man grabbed me by the arm and pulled me aside. It was none other than the beautiful Todd Howard, in answer to my prayers. About
time, sir. We've been expecting you. You bitch.
he exclaimed. You have?
Of course, I've been waiting for you to get the hint to finally come join us. Just please, don't tell anybody.
He replied. Join you for what?
I'm gathering a number of people to help us at Bethesda to start a doomsday plan. I'm not at liberty to say why you or any of the others who are chosen, but I can tell you that we are using Fallout as a net to capture those that can be of use to us. It also foreshadows what the world will look like in the near future. That's if, of course, you and the others are willing to join us. We can't do it on our own.
What the fuck?
Yeah, what the hell?
What would happen?
You just...
Oh.
Hold on. Even if that's true, wouldn't you be a bit more, you know...
kind of work him up a bit, gain his trust,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah,
we're gonna cause fallout in real life,
cult.
bitch. Yeah. What would happen, hypothetically speaking, if I don't join?
Well, you're free to do whatever you'd like, but the end has already begun. If you don't help us, someone will take your place, and I know that you'll regret it. The clock is ticking.
Mr. Howard handed me a business card, upon which was a text, pre-register for your spot on the end list today. Along
It
with
just sounds like you're going to be shot 27 times in the chest. When that...
Yeah, along with a 1-800 number. I took the card and went back to my hotel room to get some rest and process everything. It'd be a nice way to relax and hopefully cope with strange events occurring
Honestly,
in my
I
life.
thought this guy was just like 16.
Yeah. I would soon find that relaxation was nowhere within reach. Entering my room, anger and disorientation came over me. The TV in the hotel room was lit up with a copy of Fallout 4 playing. It was stuck on the same screen with the word N typed up all over it, just as it was back on that November day. As if this wasn't enough, my phone rang, though this time a number I recognized. Hey Dad, what's up? I answered with, as I normally did when my father called.
Hey, I'm sorry to bother you during your trip, but I have some upsetting news to share with you. Your brother, he just passed away moments ago.
Wait, what? How? I shouted at shocking despair. I was never close to my brother, with him always being away at war and whatnot. It sounds horrible, but it felt like he was more of a distant relative than a sibling. Even so, my heart sunk.
The nurses aren't completely certain, but they claim radiation poisoning was at fault. I find that questionable because no bombs have been dropped near his location. They're going to do a further analysis in the coming week to let us know.
I'll be back in town as soon as possible. Please keep me updated if any other information comes up. I'm not sure how to handle this. I was just talking to him a couple days ago, I let out, along with a single tear of pure grief.
The fuck? Just one. I will, son. This is just as hard for me, and I'll be devastated for as long as this world lasts. You'll be looking down at us, smiling. At least he's in a better place.
My father said this in a tone of hurt and heartache. He then changed the subject, probably to lighten the mood a bit, something he awkwardly did to avoid dealing with more serious issues.
Hey, by the way, I have a piece of mail I found stuck in my door tonight. Pretty odd for a Sunday. It has my name on it, but I think it's for you. It says something about a Fallout 76 beta invitation and has the word end written all over it. Do you want it?
I hung up on my own father. I'm not sure why or how I found myself in this ongoing nightmare, but it feels like I'm trapped in my own apocalypse. Take these words however you like. Believe what you want, but Bethesda is not a game company. Todd Howard is up to something, and this is the start of the end.
So this is a series, obviously. There's definitely a second one. Ow.
No, this has some credibility to it. You want to know why? 2020 is happening.
Shut the hell up.
But it all of a sudden fell flat as soon as Todd Howard say, you know what? I want to cause the world to end.
Yeah.
Like, what the
And
fuck?
technically, if you think about it, that still doesn't tell us how it's a cult.
I mean, the end cult.
The end cult? Or do they dress up like a bunch of Endermen?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure we'll be seeing something in the end cult on the Minecraft movie.
Oh.
Because, I mean, they did release the character list of that.
Alright, anyways.
Anyway, it fell flat. It fell flat. I mean, it wasn't that good to begin with, but it fell flat.
Very, very flat.
Like, we would just need, Bethesda is, hold on. How much is Todd Howard worth?
You know?
If Todd Howard, if his net worth is $10 million, why would he want the
Alright.
world to end if he's just swimming in money?
Honestly, I thought Todd Howard was black.
Seriously?
I don't actually know who.
Have you not
I
seen
don't
his
know who
face
Todd
before?
Howard is. I don't know him himself. I don't watch like
He's arguably
E3
one of the most.
shit.
He's arguably one of the most recognizable faces in gaming history.
Well,
Right.
now that I see it, I can tell.
Right beside Reggie.
We're gonna have a little talk after this.
In terms of recognizability, not what good stuff they done.
What kind of good stuff?
Releasing Skyrim for like 5 different times.
Hmm.
I don't know, they're slowly working on Fallout 76, making it somewhat playable.
I will put my eye inside of you.
But I'm actually gonna have the same rating that creepypasta.com says. Like, Creepypasta rates it a 5.52 out of 10, and that's exactly what I would name it. It's average. But
Yeah, I'd give it about
Jesus
a 5
Christ,
out
is
of
it not
10.
scary?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the scariest part was the fact that end was written all over his walls, but even then, yeah. Plus, that does bring up some questions. If it was in his own handwriting, was he, like, brainwashed for a few seconds?
I don't know.
What's with that lagging deal? There's a lot of questions
Yeah,
that...
I hate it when I lag IRL, you know?
Yeah. Welcome back to the Dark Manor Pod. Wait.
Welcome back to the dark. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. Estimated reading time, 8 minutes. It took us half an hour.
Yeah. Well, that's just because I'm shit at reading out loud.
And I stopped us for a good 2 minutes at the start.
Yeah. But, again, 5.52 is a good enough thing for me.
Pretty accurate.
What's your rating?
5 out of 10.
Okay. We don't really have much go off of, but we're back.
Nope.
Expect either weekly or bi-weekly uploads throughout all of summer. It just depends on the schedule
Or in
we
general.
figure out. Yeah. Anyway, this has been the Dark Manor Podcast. I'm Hayden.
I'm Haxon.
Good night.
And good luck.